Welcome to Sleep in Color Stories. Tonight's journey is called the Crystal Cavern. It's a journey into a hidden world beneath the earth, a place where light shimmers softly through walls of crystal, and every sound, every reflection seems to breathe in rhythm with your own breath. As you listen, allow the sounds and words to guide you inward, to a quiet space of healing, renewal, and light. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, let yourself begin to drift toward the glow beneath the surface and the calm waiting within. If you enjoy this journey, remember to like, subscribe, or follow so you'll be the first to experience new stories and meditations. Now, let's begin the Crystal Cavern. Part 1. Arrival. The night has folded softly around you. A hush lies over the earth, a quiet so deep it seems to hum just beneath the skin. You stand at the edge of the world as you know it, a narrow path of stone leading down towards something unseen. Behind you, the air is cool and familiar, touched with wind and the faint scent of wild grass. Ahead, the breath of the earth rises, damp and mineral, ancient and inviting. Take a slow, steady breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your shoulders soften. Let the weight of the day drift down through your spine, flowing out through your feet into the soil. You are here now. The night, the quiet, the waiting earth, all of it gathers around you like a slow heartbeat. The entrance to the cavern is nothing more than a low arch of stone, half covered in moss and shadow. It doesn't feel forbidding, only secret, as if the world has held this place close for centuries, waiting for you to arrive. You step closer and the air changes. It cools against your skin, carrying a scent of wet stone and something faintly metallic, like rain against crystal. A faint light glimmers deep within. Not torchlight, not moonlight, something older, quieter. You can't yet see its source, only the echo of its flickering across the curved stone ahead. Take another breath, in and out. Each inhale draws you inward. Each exhale lets go of whatever clings to you still. The noise, the hurry, the thoughts that never rest. Your hand brushes the wall beside the entrance. It's smooth and cool, damp in places where beads of water gather and slide down into the earth. A faint vibration hums through the stone, not sound exactly, but resonance. The sense that this place is alive, breathing in its own rhythm, aware of your presence. You pause, eyes adjusting to the dimness. From above, a thread of starlight filters down through cracks in the stone ceiling, catching on the moisture, turning droplets into tiny stars that fall and vanish into the dark. The sound of water dripping, slow, steady, keeps time with your heartbeat. There is no rush here. The world has slowed to match the pace of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. You step through the archway. The ground slopes gently downward, and the air grows cooler still. With each step, the noise of the world fades. The wind, the insects, even your thoughts, until all that remains is the rhythmic echo of your own footsteps and the occasional sigh of the earth. The first chamber opens around you. The ceiling arches high, disappearing into shadow, and the walls shimmer faintly, dusted with veins of crystal that catch the faint light and scatter it into subtle rainbows. Each crystal hums softly, just at the edge of hearing, a low, resonant tone that seems to vibrate through your chest. It feels almost like breath, like the cavern itself is exhaling around you. You pause here, letting the stillness settle. Your eyes adjust to the dim glow. The light isn't uniform. It pulses, faintly, like a heartbeat, rippling across the walls. When you breathe, the shimmer seems to change rhythm, slowing, matching your breath. You test the idea. You inhale deeply, and the light gathers. You exhale slowly, and it fades, softening again. The connection feels impossible, yet undeniable. You are not merely in this space. You are a part of it. You move deeper. Your footsteps echo softly against stone, and your fingers trail along the wall, tracing the smooth facets of crystal that seem to guide you forward. In some places, the path narrows, forcing you to turn sideways, your shoulders brushing stone. In others, it widens into alcoves where small pools of water reflect the shifting light above. When you stop beside one of these pools, you see your reflection, softened by ripples and scattered by light. The water glows faintly blue, and deep within you, you can see the shimmer of crystal veins spreading like roots beneath the surface. Tiny droplets fall from the ceiling, disturbing the surface, making your reflection shimmer and break apart into light. You kneel beside the pool. Your hand hovers over the water. The air here feels different, almost charged, like the moment before lightning, but quieter, gentler. When you finally dip your fingers into the pool, the surface ripples outward, and the light responds, pulsing softly beneath your touch. It's warm, alive. You draw your hand back and watch as the water stills. The glow softens again, returning to calm. You notice now that your breathing has slowed, and with it, your heartbeat. Even your thoughts have quieted into a smooth, steady rhythm. Somewhere, deeper in the cavern, a low tone echoes, a single note, deep and resonant, like the sound of wind passing through crystal. It's not frightening. It feels like a welcome, like the cavern has noticed you. You rise slowly and continue forward. The passageway begins to twist and narrow, the light shifting between shades of silver and pale blue. You reach a turn and pause, one hand pressed to the wall. The vibration hums there, faint but steady, a current that seems to flow through the entire cavern. You can feel it through your fingertips, a subtle warmth that travels up your arm and settles into your chest. You close your eyes and breathe. The sound of dripping water fades into something almost musical, a slow rhythm that mingles with your pulse. You can feel your body beginning to loosen, each muscle softening into the next. The tension that once lived in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, it's gone now, melted by the soft hum of this place. When you open your eyes again, you notice the faint shimmer of crystals embedded in the path before you. They form a subtle line, as though the earth itself is drawing you deeper in. You follow, and the tunnel opens again, this time revealing a vast chamber. The light here is stronger, not harsh, but radiant, reflecting from every surface. It's as if the walls are made of glass, and with them 1,000 soft lights move, like fireflies captured in stone. The air feels thicker here, humming softly with the same deep tone that welcomed you before. You take one more breath and exhale slowly, feeling the sound vibrate in your chest. In this moment, it's as if your body and the cavern share a single breath, the same rhythm, the same stillness, the same quiet light. You have arrived, and somewhere deep within this luminous silence, something ancient has begun to stir, not with urgency, but with recognition, as if it had been waiting for you, as if the light itself remembers your name. Part 2. Exploration. You pause at the mouth of the cavern, where the last traces of the world above still linger, the scent of night air and the faint hush of leaves whispering behind you. The threshold feels like a veil between realms, neither dark nor light, but something in between, a shimmering boundary of breath and possibility. You inhale slowly, and with that breath, you allow yourself to cross. The passageway narrows first, gently and intimate, as though the earth is inviting you closer. The walls glimmer faintly, laced with veins of quartz that catch the dim light of your lantern. With every small step, that glow seems to respond, pulsing softly in rhythm with your heartbeat. The air is cooler here, denser, almost liquid in its stillness, and yet every breath feels cleansing, like drawing in quiet. You run your fingertips along the stone beside you. It is smooth, as though shaped by centuries of slow, patient water. Beneath your touch, you feel a low vibration, not sound exactly, but presence, the kind of resonance that hums through your bones. Somewhere deep within, you sense that the cavern itself is alive, not in the way a creature breathes, but in how light itself breathes, endlessly exhaling brilliance into darkness. Your footsteps echo softly, one step, then another. The sound fades into silence. There is comfort here, even in the depth. Each moment draws you further inward, further downward, into something vast and timeless. And then you see it. The tunnel opens into a wide chamber, domed and radiant. The air shimmers with suspended dust, each particle catching the faintest light like drifting fragments of stars. Crystals rise from the floor and hang from the ceiling like frozen waterfalls, translucent and varied. Some clear as glass, others tinted in hues of violet, rose, and deep ocean blue. Their surfaces gleam, refracting your light into 1,000 trembling reflections that ripple across the stone. You breathe in deeply. The air tastes faintly mineral, fresh and cool, like the first sip of water after a long thirst. It smells faintly of rain and salt and something sweet, perhaps the echo of blossoms carried down through fissures in the stone. You exhale slowly, letting your shoulders drop, feeling tension dissolve from the back of your neck, the base of your spine. There is no rush here. The cavern seems to expand and contract with your breathing, as though it too understands the language of rest. You walk forward slowly. The sound of dripping water begins, a soft, rhythmic cadence. Each drop strikes a still pool nestled among the crystals, sending out ripples that catch and scatter the light. You crouch near the edge, gazing into the surface. It reflects you imperfectly, your form blurred and luminous, as though made of the same substance as the stones. The pool glows faintly from below, and for a moment it seems as if the light within is pulsing in time with your breath. You close your eyes, and the glow remains behind your eyelids, a warmth at the center of your chest. You breathe in light. You breathe out release. The cavern listens. You rise again, exploring further. The path winds through the slender corridors, lined with delicate crystal spires, their edges fine enough to sing when brushed. A faint hum begins, harmonic and shifting, the soft resonance of air moving through narrow stone. It is music without melody, ancient, patient, and low, the voice of the cavern itself. You pause to listen. The sound settles deep inside you, echoing in places where words never reach. It feels like something being remembered. There is a chamber ahead, its entrance arched, shaped like the curve of a heart. You step through. Inside, the space opens to a ceiling alive with reflection. The crystals here are clear as water, and yet they bend the light into slow-moving waves that glide across the walls. It feels like standing inside the breath of the ocean, motionless but alive. A small stream threads through the room, its flow quiet but sure. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the current. The water is cool but not cold. It feels restorative, as though it carries memory. The ripples respond to your touch, glinting with faint light before smoothing back to calm. There are no clocks here, no sun or moon to measure time, only rhythm, the breath, the heartbeat, the sound of water tracing its ancient path through the earth. You inhale deeply once more. As you exhale, you imagine the light within spreading through you, into your hands, your chest, your throat, your eyes. The glow softens the edges of your thoughts. Every anxious current fades, every shadowed corner of the mind illuminated gently without judgment. You move deeper into the room. In one corner, an enormous column of amethyst rises, its facets rich and deep, a twilight hue that seems to hum when you draw near. You rest your palm against it, feeling the vibration travel up your arm. Slow, steady, grounding. You allow yourself to be still here. The surface beneath your hand is cool but alive with quiet power. You whisper softly, though there are no words, only intention, a breath offered to the quiet. The stone seems to listen, then answer, its light blooming subtly, a deeper radiance swelling from within. You step back slightly, watching. The glow spreads to nearby formations, connecting them in a soft chain of illumination until the entire chamber begins to breathe with you. A pulse of light, rising and falling. The realization touches something deep within. The sense that this light is kin to your own. You close your eyes again, breathing slowly. Inhale. The crystalline air enters, cooling your lungs. Exhale. Warmth leaves, carrying tension with it. For a long moment, you simply exist. The cavern has no need for words. It asks for nothing. It gives simply by being. You open your eyes and find the glow slightly brighter now, as though in recognition. You feel lighter, not in body, but in the invisible weight that has pressed at the edges of your spirit. Every crystal around you holds a world of reflections, tiny, infinite versions of light, of self, of stillness. And yet, none of them compete. They harmonize. This, you realize, is what peace can look like. 1,000 reflections, none in conflict. You walk again, drawn toward a narrow passage that leads further in. The air feels different now, warmer, carrying a hint of vibration. a deeper hum beneath the silence. The walls close slightly around you, and with each step, the light ahead softens, gathering into a single steady radiance. You reach a small opening, a circular archway lined with smooth crystal that seems to bend light like water. You pause here. You sense that beyond this threshold, the cavern deepens not only in space, but in meaning. Something awaits here, not frightening, but potent. You take one last slow breath. Inhale the scent of cool stone, mineral, and ancient. Exhale the last of the surface world, released fully now. And as you step through, the air shifts. The sound of water becomes a hush, the light more diffuse, gentle and inviting, like moonlight filtered through glass. The deeper chamber welcomes you in silence, and yet you can feel its awareness, patient and wise. You stand on the edge of something sacred, the next turn inward, where the crystalline light is no longer something you walk among, but something that will soon reveal itself within you. And though you do not yet understand how, you sense it, a truth glowing quietly in the space between breaths, that the cavern is a mirror, and it is beginning to see you clearly. Part 3. The Turning. You pause in the hush of the cavern. For a moment, there is only the slow rhythm of your own breath echoing faintly in the chamber, a sound so soft it could almost be mistaken for the earth itself breathing beside you. The air is still, cool, alive with a faint shimmer of mist that moves when you move, as though drawn toward the warmth of your body. Ahead, a wide opening glows with a light that is neither white nor golden, but something in between, a luminous blending of warmth and serenity. It flickers like memory, as though it has always existed, waiting quietly beneath the surface of your life. You step closer. Each movement stirs the crystalline floor into a faint resonance, and the walls respond, a low thrumming hum that vibrates through your feet and up your legs, into your ribs, and finally into your chest. It's not loud, it's felt more than heard, a reminder that even silence carries its own kind of song. You close your eyes. That vibration lingers there under your sternum, just behind the rise and fall of your breath. It begins to match your rhythm. Slow inhale, soft exhale. The cavern breathes with you. For a moment, you wonder if the light is responding too. You open your eyes, and it is. The crystal walls pulse faintly in time with your breathing, expanding with each inhale, softening with each exhale. It is as though the cavern itself has been waiting for your presence, for your rhythm to awaken it. You walk further in. This chamber is larger than the last, its ceiling rising high into the unseen dark, and from it hang slender crystals that seem to drip with starlight. Each droplet glimmers before vanishing into air, only to appear again, suspended as though time here moves in loops instead of lines. The floor beneath you is mirrored stone. As you walk, your reflection glows faintly beneath you, not an image of form, but of light, a shadowless version of you, fluid and pure. You kneel to touch it, your hand meeting the surface like the edge of a dream, cool, smooth, alive. When your fingertips make contact, ripples of light spread outward, and for the briefest instant, you see movement within the reflection, not of your body, but of something deeper. An image rises from the glow, flashes of faces, memories, soft colors that have followed you from other times. You do not try to name them. They are fragments of being, echoes of moments that once carried you through both joy and quiet sorrow. The light hums gently beneath your palm, urging you not to retreat but to receive. So you breathe in, letting the light spill upward through your arm, silvery warmth that fills the spaces behind your ribs, between your thoughts, within your chest. And as you breathe out, something releases. You can't quite name what it is. Perhaps a weight you didn't realize you carried. Perhaps a long-forgotten tension that has been waiting, patient and invisible, for the right moment to dissolve. The cavern hums in quiet agreement. You look up again, and the light around you has changed. It's softer now, more diffuse, shimmering like silk underwater. It moves not just around you, but through you. Each breath draws in illumination, and each exhale lets it expand into the space. The cavern's heartbeat and your own become indistinguishable. You begin to walk again, slower this time, with reverence, every step an act of belonging. The tunnel narrows, leading you toward a corridor lined with deep violet crystals. Their color seems almost liquid, as though the stone itself is melting into radiance. As you pass, the light catches on your skin and lingers there, faint streaks of color dancing over your hands and face, then fading back into the air. The feeling is intimate, like a memory brushing past your shoulder. You realize that you are no longer simply in the cavern. You are of it. The boundary between your body and this place has become porous, fluid, mercifully undefined. There is no need to grasp or understand. You are simply here, breathing, luminous, whole. In this chamber, a single column of quartz rises from the ground like the spine of the earth itself. Its surface glows with soft inner fire, blues, golds, faint hints of green, shifting like an unseen aura. You are drawn toward it instinctively. When you reach out, you feel warmth beneath your fingers, a gentle radiant pulse that mirrors the quiet rhythm beneath your own skin. And then you hear it. A tone, steady and crystalline, singing through every cell of your being. It is your frequency, the one that had always been there, hidden beneath the noise of the world above. the song grows softer, warmer, and you realize that what you are hearing is the sound of recognition, the cavern remembering you, and you remembering yourself. You close your eyes again, letting that realization sink deep. You are safe. You are light. You are allowed to glow again. The hum softens until it becomes indistinguishable from silence, not an absence, but a fullness that needs no sound to be felt. You rest your palm against the crystal one last time, and when you step back, the entire cavern seems to exhale with you. Every surface gleams a little brighter, as though sharing your breath, your softness, your quiet renewal. The path ahead glows faintly now, not as an invitation, but as a continuation. It winds deeper toward a chamber you have not yet seen. Something inside you knows that whatever waits there is not separate from you, but simply another shape of your own light, waiting to be remembered. You take a slow breath, the air cool and bright in your chest. With each exhale, the cavern breathes with you, radiant, alive, awake. And as you begin to walk again, your steps are soundless, effortless, as though the earth itself is carrying you forward, gently toward the heart of illumination. Part 4. The Chamber of Renewal. You linger at the threshold of the next chamber, feeling a soft vibration beneath your fingertips where they rest against the cool stone. The air seems to quiver with quiet expectancy. The path ahead curves slightly, and through the narrow opening spills a light, not as sharp as crystal, but rounder, fuller, as though moonlight had pooled into itself and begun to breathe. You draw a slow, conscious breath. The air carries the faint scent of minerals and water, but also something subtler, something like rain after long drought, renewal. Each step forward feels like slipping further from time. The stone beneath your bare feet has grown warmer now, pulsing faintly, echoing the rhythm of your own heart. You realize that the cavern is no longer simply reacting to your presence. It is resonating with it. You are inside a living harmony of light and sound, the cave and your body playing the same unspoken melody. As you enter the chamber fully, you are met by a vast circular pool. Its surface is still, almost mirror-like, except where the small droplets fall from the ceiling in slow, irregular patterns. Each drop meets the water and ripples outward, turning the still reflection into soft waves of silver and blue. You move closer. The pool reflects the cavern's interior, luminous walls, veins of soft quartz, hanging tendrils of crystal vines, and at its center, a column of pure light rises upward, meeting a natural skylight carved through the rock. Moonlight pours through it, but somehow the light seems to pulse and shimmer, as though coming from beneath the surface as well. You sit at the edge. The stone is smooth here, shaped by countless years of water flow, and it welcomes your weight as though carved for this exact purpose. You inhale deeply, feeling the cool air fill your chest. Then exhale, watching the breath dissipate into the glowing air around you. Inhale, light enters. Exhale, tension dissolves. For a moment, you close your eyes. The hum of the chamber deepens. It sounds almost like a song, low and resonant, vibrating through the bones of the earth. You can feel it behind your ribs. The light, too, seems to move with it, brightening, dimming, brightening again in a rhythm that feels ancient and sacred. You open your eyes again. The column of light has widened. The droplets now fall more slowly, almost suspended in air. Every sound feels magnified, a gentle echo of your heartbeat, the quiet movement of air, the whisper of your breath. Then you notice it. Within the light itself, faint shapes begin to form, like the silhouettes of wings or the outlines of hands. They're not figures, they're reflections of your own energy, the shape of your thoughts, your emotions, your calm. The cavern is showing you the invisible architecture of your inner world. As you breathe, the light responds. When your breath is shallow, it flickers. When it deepens, it steadies. When you exhale slowly, a wave of luminous ripples travels outward through the pool. You watch this connection with awe. The chamber mirrors your state of being, revealing the truth that light is not external. It lives within you, waiting for acknowledgement, waiting for permission to expand. You bring your hands forward and let your fingertips rest on the water's surface. The sensation is neither cold nor warm. It feels alive, like touching the pulse of the earth itself. The reflection trembles, and you see your own face illuminated in crystalline light, but the features seem softer, blurred at the edges as though made of air and starlight. You whisper to yourself, or perhaps to the cavern, "I release all that has weighed me down." The sound moves outward, echoing in the chamber, absorbed and returned softer than before. You take another breath and say, "I open myself to renewal." The water glows brighter, as though the pool itself answers in affirmation. Then silence, a sacred pause in which everything is perfectly balanced. You stay there, breathing with the cavern, surrounded by light that feels as though it is rewriting every tired cell within you. A breeze moves gently through the chamber, though there should be no wind in this deep underground. It stirs the edges of your clothing, brushes your hair, carries a faint scent of clean stone and moonlight. The light bends with it, scattering into 1,000 tiny rainbows. You watch the colors shimmer across the crystalline walls: pale gold, deep violet, aquamarine. The hues shift like memory, then fade again into silver. Somewhere far above, water trickles down the rock face, its journey long and patient. You imagine how many years it took to carve this place, how slow and certain the earth can be in creating beauty. You think of your own healing, how it too happens slowly, quietly, but within the same inevitability. You whisper to yourself once more, softly, as though the words were part of the cavern's song. I am patient, I am becoming, I am whole. The light seems to bow, a gentle shimmer of acknowledgement. The reflections soften, growing hazy, dreamlike. You close your eyes again. This time, instead of watching, you feel. The hum of crystals seeps through the stone, through your body, through your breath. Each vibration releases a tension you hadn't realized you were carrying. The small, quiet burdens that linger in the mind and body. The air feels lighter, the world quieter. In this chamber of renewal, time ceases to matter. The moment expands, rippling outward, infinite. You feel as though the light that once surrounded you is now radiating from within, an internal sunrise glowing gently behind your ribs. The pool begins to mirror the same glow, as if sinking to your heartbeat. The entire cavern becomes one vast reflection of calm, of trust, of illumination. And then, a subtle shift. The sound of water begins to recede, replaced by the faintest chime, as if the crystals themselves are ringing softly in gratitude. You sense that you have reached the heart of the cavern, the center of its quiet truth. That darkness was never an absence but a cocoon, a space where light gathers before it blooms. You stand feeling taller, lighter, unburdened. The glow around you seems to follow, wrapping you in a soft radiance. A path of light has formed on the ground, leading toward an arched opening ahead, a way forward, though you do not yet know where. You take one last look at the pool. Its surface now reflects not the cavern above, but a sky of endless stars. For a moment you wonder whether it's a reflection at all, or a glimpse into another realm, a mirror of possibility. You smile, place a hand on your chest, and breathe once more. Inhale, light fills you. Exhale, you release the past. As you turn toward the archway, the chamber hums a final note, low, resonant, pure. You step forward, the sound following you, carrying you gently toward whatever lies beyond. The journey continues, but now the light within you leads the way. Part 5. The Stillness of Light. The deeper chambers open not through distance, but through surrender. There comes a moment when movement itself feels unnecessary, when even breath slows into something suspended between heartbeat and silence. You stand before a pool that looks as though the cavern itself is gazing back. Its surface reflects the ceiling's crystals, each one pulsing faintly, steady as a slow exhale. When you kneel beside it, you notice that the reflection trembles slightly, as though the water itself was breathing. The walls seem to hum with quiet intelligence. They do not speak in words, yet they seem to understand presence. The still, attentive kind that asks nothing and offers everything. you realize that throughout this journey, the cavern has not been something you entered. It has been something that revealed itself in rhythm with your calm. As you lower your fingertips into the pool, the chill surprises you, grounding you in sensation. Ripples move outward, then return inward, forming a slow pattern. Outward and inward, like breath, like the natural pulse of thought. The light beneath the surface stirs, drifting upward until small glimmers hover above the water, weightless, flickering with soft tones that almost resemble voices. When you breathe in, they gather close. When you breathe out, they scatter gently toward the crystalline walls. Their glow paints shifting shapes across the stone, patterns that resemble memory, moments of warmth, the kind of still clarity that arrives only after release. You remain here, eyes half closed, breathing with the cavern, with the light, with the silence that has been waiting to be heard. Gradually, you sense that the crystals themselves have softened their glow, as though easing into rest. The hum has become a steady undertone. The air carries a calm resonance, the quiet aftermath of illumination. When you rise, you feel no urgency. The way out does not demand direction. Every surface holds a faint reflection of your path, the same slow rhythm of breath, the same gentleness you found here. As you begin to walk, your steps are nearly silent. The ground beneath your feet feels familiar, smooth, no longer cold. The crystal's light fades behind you in gradual gradients until only one faint reflection remains. That stillness is not absence, but presence refined. Near the cavern's mouth, you pause one last time and turn. The chamber is quiet, the light subdued but alive. Its glow remains constant, patient. You breathe once more, slow and deliberate. The air carries traces of salt, stone, and something clean, something that feels like clarity. Then, when you step outside, the world meets you not as something new, but as something aligned. The night above is calm. The stars look different only because you are seeing them with the same light you carried from within. As you close your eyes, the rhythm continues, the quiet pulse of crystal, of breath, of returning home to stillness.